probably gonna be like a series because I've always wanted to kind of like talk about this, but I made some points for this video, so hopefully I'm not like gonna start rambling, but that always happens. So I want to talk about how to become a morning exerciser. Now, I have been waking up at 4 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. every single day of my life for like over 10 years now. It's probably like, I don't know, like 14 or 15 years. And obviously, like I didn't start out randomly like working out all of a sudden at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like it was a gradual process. And a lot of people, I know they struggle with, you know, working out just in general, but especially being a morning exerciser. But I feel like one of the biggest things to be consistent with exercise is getting it out of the way. So that's why being a morning exerciser kind of solves so many problems like all at once. Instead of, you know, you come home from work and then you're absolutely exhausted, you barely have energy to even cook dinner, there's no way you're gonna be working out. So I made 11 points on how to be a consistent morning exerciser. So these, honestly, you can kind of like use these for like being just a consistent exerciser regardless, but I'm gonna focus more on like doing this like in the morning. So the first step is to prep the night before. So if you wanna be a morning exerciser, you don't wanna waste time in the morning like getting ready to work out. It should be like you wake up and you go, and that's what I do. So the night before, first of all, you need to make sure you're going to sleep the same time every night, if you can. Like there can be a little variation there, but like you can't be like staying up until midnight and then staying up until like 11 the next night and then 1 o'clock the next night. Like you're gonna be exhausted and that's just not gonna work. Especially if you're gonna be waking up early to work out. You need to be energized for your workout. So make sure you have a consistent bedtime, which obviously that makes a whole consistent nighttime routine. But you also, depending on what you do, now I'm gonna focus on working out at home because that's what I do. You wanna have everything set up. So on my strength training days, I have my dumbbells all set up and lined up. Like they're not on the rack, they're not like put away, like they're there for me to grab and start going. I have my yoga mat rolled out. You know, I have my little sheet like that I track different things. I don't actually have to now, I know it in my mind. But when I started, like I had like my workout written down on paper. And so when I would finish an exercise, like I would just mark it off with a pen. Because sometimes you can't think straight early in the morning, so that helps you. But make sure like all that is laid out. Make sure your clothes are out. My suggestion though is to sleep in what you're gonna work out in. Especially if you're working out at home and you're by yourself, like you can wear whatever the hell you want. So have your sports bra on, little shorts, like whatever. Like make sure you either sleep in that or you have it like right next to your bed that you can just throw it on, whatever. So that's number one, is to kind of get your night routine like down pat. Then these next two tips kind of go into each other because you want to have a consistent wake up time, but that doesn't mean that like all of a sudden now tomorrow you have to start waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning like I do. No, like look at when you have to get to work, how long it generally takes you to like get ready, have breakfast, and then work backwards. So right now you're waking up at 7 o'clock, but you're gonna need an extra hour now because you wanna get in like a 45-minute workout. Well then you should probably wake up at like 6. But that doesn't mean you have to like wake up at 6 tomorrow. You can wake up at 6:30 or 6:45, then 6:30. And then eventually like you'll have enough time and then you can like add that workout in. Now obviously like if you wanna actually start working out in the morning, like right away, like you can either do a shorter workout or just start teasing yourself into it like for a week of just getting yourself to wake up early. Because obviously if you're tired and you can't even like work out because your body's exhausted, you're not gonna have a good workout, so it's just pointless regardless. So you may wanna take a week of just adjusting your sleep schedule. I think that's like more important than, you know, doing a workout. So adjust the sleep schedule, get your bedtime, sleep time down pat, and then start adjusting the time until you get that actual wake up time like locked in. And then you can like legitimately start your morning exercise era. So that's consistent wake up time, and then the gradual adjustment by like 15 to like 30 minutes every night. So each day, maybe if you feel like it's so hard at like 6:15, you're like, oh my gosh, this is killing me. Maybe hold that time for a few days until your body adjusts, because it will 100% adjust. And that's how I did it. Like I used to, you know, wake up maybe at 6 or maybe 5, and then somehow it just slowly started creeping up earlier and earlier because I'm like, hey, like I actually feel so much better and alive in the morning. Like I'm a morning person, so I enjoy waking up then. And now my body just like naturally gets me up. Like I'm awake at 3:30. I don't know what else to do. So Then the other part to do this, like obviously you're not gonna naturally start waking up early anymore, so you need to set an alarm. And every single day of the week, like depends, because some days I do wake up at 3:30. It depends on like what work I'm doing. But in your phone, because your phone, everyone either has an iPhone or an Android, they all do the same thing. Set the times. So you have like your 4 a.m. days. They're all there on that. Your phone's gonna go off at 4 o'clock. Then I have my like 3:30 days. And then sometimes I'll allow myself to like sleep longer depending if I have like a shorter, more rest day. And then I'll like wake up at 5. So as long as you have those like times in, you know you're not gonna like oversleep. Now, I don't know, I've never had problems waking up with an alarm. I know some people struggle with that. But if you do, make sure you have like extra reminders. I don't know, set it maybe even like 5 minutes before it's supposed to go off. That's up to you. I've never struggled with waking up with an alarm because I mean, it's pretty like blaring and drastic. So, but make sure they're set in there so you don't forget and you know you have something that's going to wake you up. Then the next part of this is what maybe it helps me. Like I think this helps me. I literally, so the first thing I do is my alarm goes off. I throw the covers off and I immediately hit the ground and do 40 push-ups. So I do like 20 push-ups and then I do like 20 tricep push-ups. And it's the immediate like drastic change of like sleeping to like warm your body up, get the blood flowing. Like that's literally the first thing I do every single day of my life when I wake up. And I feel like that really helps you because it gets you going. Like you're not gonna hit the alarm to like snooze it. Like you're there and you know that the first thing you do is gonna be the push-ups. So that may get some time and adjustment, but literally the moment you hit your alarm off, throw the covers off. There is no thought, you just do it, it's automatic. And then I usually go to the bathroom and then I like get set up to go and start working out. So that immediate blood flow is like super important. The other thing is to then make your workout enjoyable. So what I do, because this is very early in the morning, right? It's 4 o'clock, I have a whole entire strength training workout to do. I've done my push-ups, I went to the bathroom, I'm like, get set up to go. I listen to all of my podcasts in the morning. So as I'm working out, like I don't listen to music, I listen to podcasts. So I use my laptop light as like the lighting source in my room. Now, some people may actually want to turn the lights on, but like I don't really need that. Like the light from my laptop is very bright. So I use my laptop. I have all of my podcasts already opened up in tabs the night before. So like that morning's like episodes, like they're all ready to go. I just refresh the page, the new episode's up and I go. So some of them are like video podcasts, which I absolutely love on like YouTube so I can see something as well while I'm working out. Some of them are obviously just podcasts, but that's where I get a lot of that media consumption out of the way because it's really hard to like listen to like things that I actually want to like absorb fully when I'm like doing my work for the day. So I like to get like those podcasts out of the way when I'm just doing like, I can like listen to it, but I can also focus on my workout. Like it all kind of works. But again, maybe you want to watch YouTube people that you subscribe to and you don't really have time during the day. Having it on while you're working out is like the best thing because it's like 2 birds with 1 stone, but it's not like attention shifting enough where it's like you can't do both. So I love doing that and I look forward to that. Like that's my time, my media consumption, I love that time. And the other thing I do, because this is in the morning, this means all of my emails are starting to come in. So I subscribe to so many newsletters. So everything from like the Morning Brew, Hustle, Fortune, Axios, like all of those, they all come into my email inbox on my phone and I read them. So that's how I stay up to date on news. So yes, I have podcasts going, I'm reading the news like in between, like when I'm resting for like a second between reps or like whatever. Yeah, I love doing that. That's how I get all of my news starting to get out of the way and stuff. And then I also, because sometimes like obviously not everything is out at 4 o'clock in the morning, I have my Pocket app on my phone and that's how I read like long form articles. And I always do that when I'm working out, especially when I'm doing cardio. I read long form journalism and articles and stuff. And here's a secret, because if you use the Pocket app, you can get through paywalls without paying for subscriptions. So like things like the New York Times or like any of the Times, the LA Times, all that. Some of like the Vox articles, if there's ever like paywall, you, for the most part, like except for the Wall Street Journal, for some reason it doesn't work with that, but you can use archive.php. I'll leave the links to those below, but that's you can get around paywalls and like read these articles, and that just makes especially like mindless cardio, I love doing that. You also want to vary your workouts. So obviously you're not going to be doing the same thing every day. And again, this is specific to like working out at home. So I do, let's see, Mondays is a long like yoga day, and I do some like HIIT cardio. And then Tuesdays is yoga and then longer cardio, which is when I use the bike and cycle. And then Wednesday is a strength training day. Thursday is my Pilates day and cardio. So that's more of like a rest day because Thursdays is pretty like easier on my body. Friday is a strength training day. Saturday is like a combination of so many things. A lot of yoga, a lot of like HIIT, some Pilates, all that kind of stuff. I have the most time then too, so I do a lot of stuff on Saturdays. And then Sundays is more of like a rest day, and it's like my long cardio day. So keep it varied, but like you don't want to have like a different workout every single day, but you want to have like a consistent like theme. So that's kind of what I do. Like I vary, so it's like yoga, a little bit HIIT, more like yoga and cardio, strength, and I don't have like two strength training days like next to each other, but it keeps it interesting. So I'm not doing the same thing every single day, but I have like these themes where like I know like, okay, this is more of my cardio heavy day, this is my strength training day, this is my yoga day, this is my Pilates day. Like that helps, and it keeps you like interested in your workouts, and you know that like maybe you don't really like cardio that much, but you know you should do it for cardiovascular health. It is so good for you, but you know that you don't have to do it like every single day. That's how you just keep that variation in workouts. And then, you know, you're more interested, like maybe like you're a lot more excited to wake up because you know that you have your favorite workout to do. And I will see, this is the other thing, side note. So I am a certified personal trainer. I'm a yoga instructor. I can share like easy ways to find like free workouts and all that stuff when you're first starting out and you can't develop your own programs and stuff. But I'll make another video for that. But for now, just let's pretend you already have your workouts like in your mind. You have a little plan of what you're gonna do. The other thing you wanna do is tracking it. So this is also like a way to keep yourself motivated, and tracking it can also include like having that external motivation. So if you tell a friend, or you have like a community like note with your friends and you're all kind of like, oh yeah, I did my workout today, like someone else did theirs, whatever. But also just for yourself, like any kind of thing when you're trying to form a habit, especially in the beginning. I even still, like to this day, when I really don't even need it, I have like a calendar on one of my like spam like Gmail accounts that I have just for like extra stuff. And I use that calendar and just like I just log my workouts in it. And even though I know that's what I'm doing that morning, like I already know, and it's like obviously, but I still put it in there because it's just nice to see. Like you fill up your calendar and you like marked off your boxes and you did it, and it just feels good. And you know that like you have that kind of like evidence safe. So I think that really helps, especially in the beginning when you're trying to keep yourself motivated. The other thing now is to have a morning routine. So yes, you worked out, but then what are you doing after that? So this is where it's like, some people think, oh yeah, I just have to start waking up early, and then they don't have a plan. You still need a plan. Like you have your workout done, but then what are you doing afterwards? So when I'm done with my workout, I usually finish on my emails. I get to inbox 0, you know, I finish listening to the podcast that I'm listening to. And then, you know, I not reward myself, but like I go and make a breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. So it just feels so good. Like I've worked out, that's done. I don't have to worry about it until the next morning. And I go and make my breakfast. I'm still listening to my podcast and doing emails, checking up on social. Like that's when I start going on my phone and like getting through notifications and all of that. And it's just such a nice like way to start the morning for me. And then, I also like get ready, put on some clothes, do my hair, whatever, wash my face. And then I also coffee, like after that, after I have my breakfast, I drink coffee after. You should always eat something before you have coffee, just so you know. On the side note of coffee, that's part of why getting that initial blood flow is so important, because I know a lot of people like, oh my God, I need pre-workout. Like, no, you don't. Your own adrenaline, it should do it. So like, especially when you're waking up like that, like, I swear, hit the ground, do the push-ups, get that, all of a sudden your body will be like, oh my God, it's like shocked from like sleeping to waking up, and you don't need anything else. Like, you do not need caffeine, pre-workout, whatever. Like you don't need it, and it's a lot better if you don't consume it like right away like that. So it's like delayed gratification. So after I do my workout, that's when I have coffee. So I do that, and like then I start my work day. So it's like I know the progression of like the steps of what my morning's gonna look like, And it's just, I love it, and I've made it, I've transformed it over the years to be like so perfect. And like now it's like down pat. And that's why it can be, you can make it fun. You can like start, okay, let me develop my morning so I always start the day great. Like if I don't start my day the way I do, the whole entire day is thrown off. Like I just can't function the rest of the day. So once you get to that point, which leads me on to the next point, is this isn't a workout anymore. This isn't exercise. This is a lifestyle. This is a non-negotiable. Exercise has to be a non-negotiable. That's the only way you're gonna make it like a consistent thing in your life, and where it's not a chore and where it's not a punishment for yourself. Like it should be enjoyable. It should just be like, wow, like working out is like brushing my teeth. Like I do it. Like there's not a second thought. So it's not about like getting, because motivation only takes you so far. So you can watch however many motivational videos, whatever you want, like that's not gonna help it. It has to be something internal where like a switch like flips on and you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel so good after I work out. I love like the energy rush I have then in the morning. I love that I'm so much more like productive during the day. And I love that I'm not gonna feel bad about myself because I missed my workout later in the day because I'm tired from all the stuff that came up during the workday. So it has to be a lifestyle. Like working out is not, it's not exercise, like it's exercise, but it's not like, it's not a chore. It's not something just to check off. Like it is something that you just do. And that's like, it's hard to explain, but that is like the best way to become a consistent exerciser. Like it's a consistent routine. And once that routine becomes like a habit, like it's just part of your life and it's part of your everyday. And then my final tip is to invest. So this can be investing in a yoga mat. This can be investing in a cute little workout outfit if that's gonna help you. I work out at home, right? So I have an entire full rack of dumbbells, you know, up to like 50 pounds. I have an exercise bike. I have a barbell and weights. Obviously my yoga mats and all that. And so if you're gonna work out at home, you will need to invest a little bit in equipment. Like you can't just, like, yes, I do a lot of functional training and body weight training, but you should also like invest, get some weights, get some things that you can do at home, because it's so easy to make an exercise routine if you're doing it at home, because you don't have to worry about driving to the gym and all that. However, if you do have to drive to the gym, or if you're in an apartment building and they have a gym on like another floor or something, just know that, add that time in. Like I need 5 minutes to throw my clothes on and get out the door and go down to the gym in my apartment building, or I need 20 minutes to get my car and drive to the gym. You need, make sure you know that, and then set yourself up for success. Have your keys ready to go, all of that. Or also, if there's classes or something, maybe you have like a 6 a.m. spin class or something that you're gonna go to, like schedule that in. Make sure your entire week is planned out and you have a class for every single morning that's gonna help you, motivate you, because a lot of times like when you schedule things, you can't cancel them or you'll like lose money and stuff. So do that. If that's gonna help you, do that. That's gonna give you that initial like group, I don't know, peer pressure, motivation. Like if you're first starting, yeah, those kind of things can help motivate you until it becomes a lifestyle. But you just need to know that, and you need to know like what your goal is. Are you gonna be working out somewhere else outside the home? It's gonna take a little bit more prep, but if you're doing something at home, invest in those specific pieces of equipment when you're first starting out. You don't need a lot, and then it becomes so much easier. So especially if you're struggling to just working out at home is, I can't imagine not working out at home. Like I absolutely love it. And that's why I can blast my podcast. I can have my YouTube videos playing. Like I don't have to worry about like headphones and all of that. Like I don't know how people work out with headphones. Like that would get in the way. So yeah, those are my tips. Hopefully those 11 tips help you. Obviously I'm sure you're gonna have questions, and I will definitely like continue the series on working out because I want to talk more about this. Like I am an instructor, I'm certified and everything. I'd love to help you too if you need a plan. I will leave a link to my little service website. Yeah, and I'd love to talk to you about it, but those are my tips for becoming a consistent morning exerciser, worker outer. Yeah, hopefully they help, hopefully they motivate you. I can't talk more highly of working out in the morning. I would never work out at night because then you're like all jacked up on like adrenaline, and I don't know how you go to sleep. So yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you back here next week.